This is the EV1, released back in 1996 as the first mass-market electric car. It had a modest range of just around 60 miles and took up to 12 hours to charge from a standard 110-volt outlet. So not exactly what one would think of as convenient. But that was an EV in 1996, and a lot of things have changed. But unfortunately, a lot of people still think EVs are like that. They're inconvenient and not an ideal driving solution. So today I'm starting a new series where I dispel some common EV myths, and this is episode 1. First off, yes, some EVs don't have great range, but the majority of best-selling EVs nowadays do. If you look at the Nissan Leaf, for example, it gets 150 miles of rated range. The standard Model 3, 220 miles. The Chevy Bolt, 258 miles. And taking the crown with the highest range is the Model S with 335 miles. I want you to think about your driving habits. What kind of trips do you take? Are you someone that has an hour-long commute every day to work, or do you mostly stay in town and just run errands close to your home? So according to the U.S. Department of Transportation, the average American driver only drives 14,000 miles a year. If we divide that by 365, we get 38.4 miles. So in theory, your car will only need to take you about 38.4 miles on an average day. Even an EV with shorter range, such as the Hyundai Ioniq, it's only got 89 miles of range, it'll be able to do a typical driving day for most people. Obviously, not everybody uses only 40 miles of range in a day. That's just an average. So moral of the story here is if you're considering an EV, you need to look at range above all else. If you're somebody with an hour commute every day, say you're driving an hour to work and back every single day, you're probably going to need something with over 200 miles of range. But if you stay in town for the most part, have a shorter commute of under 10 minutes, then using an EV with under 100 miles of range will suit your needs perfectly. You've also got to factor in road trips as well, so if you're somebody that likes to take longer road trips, then getting an EV with over 200 or even 300 miles of range is probably best for you. I'd say, personally, I would err on the side of longer range because it never hurts to have that extra battery life should you need it in an emergency. And you're probably wondering, well, how am I going to charge the thing? Is it going to take valuable time out of my day? How long does charging actually take? And I'm going to leave all those questions for the next video where I discuss common EV charging myths. But like I said earlier, there are plenty of options with over 200 miles of range when it comes to EVs. We're no longer having to deal with these cars that can only really drive in the city and aren't practical for day-to-day use. There's plenty of options available for every kind of driver. So if you have any questions, drop them down in the comments below. I will do my best to answer them. And if you enjoyed this type of video, definitely hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next episode of Common EV Myths. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.